Thank you for meeting with me. Can you say your name and talk about what you do for work?
So my name's Jake Blackburn. I'm a real estate broker in Burns. For real estate, we do a lot of buying, selling, represent people, CMA, which is competitive market analysis, which is just basically helping people find out the price of their home and that kind of sorts. And we go around viewing lots of different properties in Eastern Oregon. We're really rural out here, about 2 hours from Bend, 2 hours from Ontario. So we span out pretty far and just kind of get out there.
What is the community where you work like?
Just the rural community atmosphere is just a family atmosphere. People helping people. You get stranded in the middle of nowhere. You have farmers that come help you before anyone else does. They're always lending a hand to you to help out. It means a lot being born and raised here and being able to come back and represent it. And I just love smaller community. You get more elbow room, more space, that kind of stuff. It's probably a lot different from a lot of places, but growing up, I played a lot of sports to keep busy. There's not much here besides the swimming pool in the summer, and so we'd go to the swimming pool a lot. So I did a lot of sports growing up. At one time for like 6 or 7 years, I played basketball, wrestled, football, swam, baseball, and track, all at the same time in the same years. And sports is what kept me busy. Rode bikes around a lot from growing up, and it was the best way to get around town because, it's probably 5 miles from one point to the other point of town. So you could just hop on your bike, go around wherever you wanted, and do what you needed.
How would you describe the working environment here?
Yes, kind of. So working for Jet Blackburn Real Estate, my great-grandpa opened the doors up for my grandpa. He didn't really do as much with it, but my grandpa took it over in 1960, and then my dad followed his footsteps when he was about 26, 27 years old and decided to do the same thing after he got back home from college. I always was around them growing up, looking up to them. They were the two father figures in my life, my grandpa and Kurt. And my grandpa and my father, and they were just kind of the father figures in my life, and I always looked up to. My grandpa passed away when I was younger, so I didn't really get to experience as much with how they worked together, but kind of being in the same footsteps as my father and following my dad's path and that kind of stuff, it means a lot where I get to work with him, I get along with him great, I get to learn everything, pick his brain, and it's just awesome to be able to have someone so knowledgeable be related to you and a father to you, and just be able to follow his footsteps and someday make him proud.
What do you love about your job?
Working here is an amazing experience. We kind of have an open door policy where we're yelling at each other across the room. That's how we are. We're a very close-knit family. My dad's been doing it for 33 years. Another broker in here, their mother worked with my grandpa and my father before she ended up following in the footsteps. So we have that really tight-knit family atmosphere, and we do have another broker that's about 2 years of experience, and it all just fits in like a glove. It's just everything fits together. We all get along, and that's kind of how we have developed our team with the front desk ladies, the office gals, and our agents. You have to be able to get along, have some fun, and we just kind of have that family atmosphere that fits everyone. Okay, so our job, it's not like your typical 9 to 5. You might be less busy some days, more busy the other days, and then some days you come in and it just gets chaotic. You have showings all day, you have to write stuff up and do that stuff, and be able to service my clients and be able to help the buyers and sellers. It means a lot to me. You get called out on the weekends that you've had plans and you wanted to do something, but just be able to help those clients find their hopeful dream home, dream house, property, whether it's recreational, commercial, or anything. It means a lot to me to just provide for them and help them find exactly what they need. So the average day of a real estate agent is just kind of different than your other 9 to 5s. It can consist of just about anything, whether you're on showings one day and then the next day you're looking at homes to hopefully list, or doing CMAs and helping them find a price of their home, to the next day of maybe advertising, getting on media, putting your name out there more, sending letters out to potentially future clients and that kind of stuff. So it's a very characteristic job that it's a little bit everything every day, and no day is the same.
What do you love about your job?
My favorite aspect of the job is just helping people find their future home or sell their home so they can be closer to family, move away, and just be happier. My whole thing is I just want to be able to be that guy that closes that gap, makes my clients feel comfortable, and show them that I know what I'm doing so they don't have to be stressed out, be worried, and that kind of stuff, and just be able to provide for them and help it be the easiest process it can be.
What was your upbringing like?
So when I first got out of high school, I didn't exactly know what I wanted to do. I went to play football, and that was kind of my whole goal, to have fun with football and get a degree in business administration, which I did. I always had a fallback plan of maybe becoming a lineman and going to trade school or something like that. But it wasn't until I decided to switch schools was when I kind of realized I wanted to be back home. Burns has always had a special place in my heart. Both my older brothers have found their traits they knew from when they were going to be kids. One is an engineer, one is a police officer. And that was kind of their whole goal and ambition, was to become those and be the best at it, while I was kind of the lost sheep. So there was just a great opportunity where my brothers found other paths, and I just kind of decided to move back home and go in the family business and keep it going.
What are some things that you wish people knew about the work that you do?
So as real estate agents, you get a lot of people that think it's easy work, that just takes 2 hours out of your day to sell a house, do that kind of stuff. But especially with our office providing a lot of the digital media that we do ourselves, it's a lot more time consuming than that. Oftentimes we have 2 or 3 vehicles outside of our office during closing hours, on the weekends, and doing that kind of stuff. So you get a lot less family time than what you'd ever expect with real estate. You have to be willing to work weekends, before work, after work, to be able to provide for those customers that are working a 9-to-5 job, that they can't get every lunch off, every hour off, that kind of thing, and work around your customers, clients, and be able to be flexible in that area and not be afraid to take a weekend off and be able to work.
What advice do you have for students trying to decide what they want to do later in life?
For your future careers, I just suggest being hardworking, eager, and just try to stay on top of it the best of your knowledge. There's a lot of people that put half effort these days, it seems like, and as long as you can show the person in front of you, whether it's a boss or a client or whatever it may be, that you want to do this, that you're hardworking and all of that, you will show them that you will be your best and they'll believe in you, and there's nothing more than that. Be time manageable, don't overtime yourself, be able to be flexible with your business, whatever it may be. You know, always communicate, try your hardest to provide for your clients, work your butt off, and just be able to give them that family atmosphere where they feel like they can tell you and talk to you. Surround yourself with the people that you want to, the positives in your life, get in the good crew. A lot of real estate brokers at times, whenever a new guy comes in, they kind of like kick him to the curb because they don't want to care about him. Find that family atmosphere where you feel loved, where it's a team atmosphere and everyone's lending a helping hand. You wouldn't be, it's unbelievable with that, like how many new agents just drop out within like a week because they like these big real estate companies, they hire like 1,000 people every week, you know, and they'll come in and then they'll just like not even care about you. They'll put you like in the corner and not give you any advice. When you go through real estate school, well, it's not really school, but when you take your test or study for it, it doesn't tell you how to write up a listing. It doesn't tell you anything. It just tells you the rules of do's and do's not to do. And that's it. It doesn't tell you any like how to write stuff up, socials, like nothing. It's unbelievable actually. So some of the requirements of being a real estate agent is that you need 150 hours of study time, and I strongly recommend not to study by yourself, but there's courses, and I took mine through COCC with a real estate agent that's been doing it for a tremendous amount of years out of Central Oregon, and I strongly suggest that people that want to become a broker and be a big impact in this kind of industry, that you do one of those classes where it's more personally related instead of just reading the textbook yourself. You get to ask questions, you get to take tests that are going to be on the exams, and they help you out a lot. They lend you a helping hand. They make sure that you know that area before going to the next, and I just strongly recommend that people do reach out and look into courses like that before they just try to take the test.
What values are important to you personally?
A personal motto that I kind of go by is just make someone else's day a little bit better, lend a helping hand. I've been lucky enough to have less stress in my life. My parents have helped me out a lot, and so I know that people are dealing with a lot worse stuff than I have in my life. So I always just try to help people out, whether it's at the grocery store, helping someone pack their groceries, or just parking in the back of the parking lot where we can let more elder people park up front and just make their day a little bit easier.
What sorts of students might be drawn to the work that you do?
The students that I think that will be drawn to this kind of work are very outgoing individuals that are competitive. A lot like me. I talked a lot to friends. I have a lot of friends, and you have to be competitive to be in this kind of industry. It's not an easy one to get into, and the more competitive, the more you're wanting and willing to provide for your clients in the best way, is the more competitive you have to be, and you really have to push stuff and not be afraid to step on toes as much, but be able to do what's best for your clients.
What is your career journey like?
Start from when I was an itty bitty guy.
Yeah.
So I was born and raised in Burns. Growing up, my parents, to keep me busy in the summer, they'd send me off with a family friend, do some construction, and I would just haul concrete around in a wheelbarrow and just do that stuff when I was 11, 12 years old, just to kind of figure out what working was. I then began to do OYCC, which is Oregon Youth Corps Crew, I believe. And we did a lot of building houses. We head to the scenes and picked up trash, built trail, and just did basically about every kind of thing you could do in the forest. And as small kids, from when I was 16 to 18. And then when I turned 18, I cut hay for a summer, had to experience that from being from a small town kid. Everyone kind of does it. And then for the 3 remaining years before real estate, I fought fire for the BLM. I was on an engine for the most part, and then a super heavy my last year which was a great experience. And then followed my father around for a year, trying to figure out if I really wanted to take this career path while I was finishing up school and football. And now I'm here, and I've been doing it for the better half of this year, and I love it, and it's just been a great opportunity to have.
What do you love about coaching?
So being a high school football coach and helping out with the team, it just means a lot to me because I was able to play 4 years. My dad did the same exact thing. He came back, coached football, and I've never really heard a bad thing about my dad and coaching football, and they always said he was one of the best coaches they've ever had. And I want to bring that aspect to the kids that I'm coaching now. I am confident with my knowledge. I feel like I can give you the tools to be the best you can, and just giving back to the community and helping provide for these kids, hopefully bringing them in the right direction, pushing them to maybe possibly play college football, and just giving them the tools to be the best they can be. And so it means a lot to me being able to represent our town, our high school, my last name, everything.